chucked her baby into a garbage compactor.
Oh, the young lass.
What the fuck? How fucking horrible, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just pops up on my feed, man. I don't know why I keep getting these horrible stories. Like, and I just thought, wow.
Horrible to us, to you, it's just pleasure.
Well, I don't know, no, man. No, fucking chucking a baby. I mean, I don't like people, but I wouldn't chuck a baby. Well, I'd chuck an adult in, but baby is different, man. They got time to become an arsehole.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Excuse me. All right, so yeah, my computer's freezing up on the browser, but I'll give it the time to do it.
It can take a while, mate. It can take a while to upload them.
Well, yeah, it's taking me a bit just to load in.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, like some of them videos I load up, they're about a gig, give or take.
Thank you, Mr.
And they can take. I can hear myself.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I can't hear no feedback, even though my thingy bar is still doing that when you were talking. So it's definitely not
No.
on the stream or anything. It's just.
I think it's the. I think it's the wire, mate. I reckon it's that wire, man.
Probably.
I reckon it's like electrical kind of interference of some sorts.
Okay, I pulled that up. Yeah, I think we should change the title of the last episode, of the YouTube clip or whatever, to something because I don't know, more appealing to get people to listen to it. It just seems like I don't know. We can.
I couldn't remember the actual name of the story because what I would have done is titled it the name of the story, but I couldn't remember what the name of the story was.
I was gonna say like name it Eyes Tight and Asshole Tighter.
So all these stories are quite short.
Okay.
Wait.
Right. Make sure I'm actually in the stream. Make sure I see everyone.
Because the titling of them makes a big difference, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Yeah, because you got to figure if you look at the title and then you see the people on the screenshot, you're gonna compare. Like, okay, I don't want to hear these people reading about Reddit stories, but if it says your asshole's tighter, then like, okay, well maybe because the one with the mohawk looks like he would know something about tight assholes.
That is true, he does.
Oh yeah. Oh jeez.
Yeah, Nick, is there a way you could turn yourself up a little bit? The wife says she's trying to hear
Me?
Yeah.
You can turn me up.
There.
On your side. On the stream.
Yeah, he said she said she could hear me and you just fine.
Well, I turned my side down because obviously I was getting a bit paranoid with when you talk, my thingy goes up and down, my mic audio.
So, your thingy goes up and down when you hear our voices. That's kind of cute.
Yeah. So it's understandable though. He's got eyes, hasn't he? You know what I mean?
Yeah, he does.
So
his eyes are bigger than his stomach. Yummy.
I have an idea.
What the fuck are we talking about?
Well, I have an idea.
Okay.
That's dangerous.
1 minute movie reviews. I've already wrote 2 scripts for them.
Okay.
So far, they are movies that American people won't know. Well, one is Father Stew, which I think American people know it's got Mark Wahlberg in it. And the other
What's it called?
Father Stew.
Farmer Stew.
Tea. I have a flask, but it's very small, so it looks like I am like doing shots of tea.
Yeah, it looks like a little sake.
It does.
Farmer Stew. I've never heard of a movie called Farmer Stew.
Father Stew.
A Father Stew.
Yeah.
That doesn't help though.
Yeah, that doesn't help at all.
So the movie.
Oh, let me have a Google.
It's Mark Wahlberg's character, Father Stew, was a former boxer who tries to get with a woman and ends up becoming a reverend father thing.
Oh, father. I keep hearing farmer.
Father. It's my accent. Leave me alone.
2022. Okay. That's relative. That's quite recent. Okay. Drama.
The other movie is called Paul Dude's Deadly Deadly Lunch Break. It's got Johnny Vegas in it.
That was loud. Johnny
Four
Vegas about his
dudes.
lunch break? What? Johnny Vegas takes a lunch break, and now we have the Screen Actors Guild on a lunch break.
So pretty much the movie is about a 40-year-old guy who wants to try and make it famous on their version of YouTube. He fails his audition. His mother dies, so he just goes on a rampage.
Yeah, as you should.
Tries to kill people, but he doesn't. But he doesn't.
It doesn't go well.
It doesn't go well.
I could. Wow. Okay. I completely forgot what I was going to say, and it was interesting. So just imagine I said something fun. There we go.
Are we talking Johnny Vegas as in Johnson's guy? Pinter Johnson's.
Tetley Tea guy.
Monkey! Monkey! Monkey!
Yeah, that guy.
I mean, I find him hilarious, but I've no idea why an American would know them. No Johnny Vegas at all.
With the Paul Dude one.
The name sounds familiar, but I don't know why.
It's got
not like I know the
people in it.
Old dude.
Paul Dude.
Okay, I just wrecked my computer.
Well, we can.
I'm not finding it.
Paul Dude.
I'm not finding it. I'm not seeing anything called Old Dudes.
Paul Dude.
Spell it.
What's that?
Paul. Paul.
Oh. Oh.
Oh, just look on the screen.
Yeah, I can see it. I can see it.
So that's it. It's got Chris Marshall in it. You may know him from My Family. She's in it. I don't know what she's been in. She's been in a few things. Johnny Vegas, of course. Craig Parkinson. Again, these are all British actors, so if you're good with British TV, you'll know these guys.
Yeah, Spaced. Some of them are from Spaced, eh?
Yeah.
The camera's still on and everything because my Discord turned off and I can't.
Yeah, you're still here.
Yeah, you're on cam. Isn't that Dodds?
Okay.
It might be my dyslexia, but is that Paul Dodds?
Paul Dude.
Dodds?
In the movie, they call him Paul Dude.
Okay. Dodd, yeah, dude. Okay.
It's the main character's this guy.
He does look like a dude. Maybe that's why they call him that.
He does.
He's a dude.
He's a dude. Paul Dude. Right, well, you guys read the chat. Well, there goes Zombie. I couldn't.
He's off.
His laptop's gone. So what I'll do is I'll fix the screen, and then I'll fix it when Zombie comes back, of course.
So it's Deadly Lunch Break.
Deadly Lunch.
Paul Dude's Deadly Lunch Break. I've never seen that. It looks kind of funny though.
At first, I was really a bit like, oh no. There's a 40-year-old guy that lives with his fucking mother. And then it hit home because I'm like, I'm 30, I live with my mother.
It's coming, mate. It's coming.
It's coming. Right, so Zombie, or Mrs. Zombie, we'll do one Reddit post, and then obviously we'll wait for you to come back. So, which one should we do first? Well, I'll look for the shortest one. Because I have a few up here. Here we go. It's Zombies in call, so I'll wait. I'll have to fix the screen again.
He's coming in.
Oh, no, it's fine.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Right, you can hear. So this one. Welcome to Reddit Stories with Just Nick. Clap, 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 clap.
Wait, shit, that was like the NFL theme. Sorry. We're gonna get sued now.
Hopefully, we won't get claimed. So, this is: Am I the a-hole?
Yes.
the
Oh,
test-
the actual storage thing. Okay. That was a recommendation.
Thank you. Thank you. I always wanted to call it a-hole. But am I the a-hole for suggesting
You'll hear it all the time.
80 to 20% on house chores with my girlfriend?
So you do 80%, she does 20.
I think so, maybe.
Okay.
No, she's an asshole.
Well, it depends on what's going on. Like, is she working the whole time or not?
I'm assuming they both work.
Well, we'll
Oh,
find
yeah.
out.
See, then
If she's not working, then she should do like 80% of the housework. Same with him. If he's not working,
Yeah.
he should do 80% of the housework.
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
whoever's there.
Right. So here we go. This
Oh, a
first
second. I
paragraph,
gotta
pretty-
verify. Like, it's me getting into this drive because I'm sending that video thing over.
That's probably why. Right. So here we go. Throwaway account because girlfriend follows me on main. My GF 26 and me 26 male have been in a relationship for 2 years.
Good for
Aside from small disagreements, things were going pretty good. But last night, my girlfriend said something which made me kind of angry. From last 1 year, okay, that was a bit strange. We are living together, so everything was split 60-40 because I was making more than her. Now, my GF is very hardworking. She started working in part time jobs from the age of 17, put herself through college with very minimal help from her parents and student loans. After working 3 years straight, pardon me.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Exactly. That was impressive.
That was part of the story. After working 3 years straight, 9 without taking any vacation, without spending on makeup slash clothes, she paid her complete debt last month, and I can visibly see how relaxed she is. Couple of days ago, we were cuddling, and she told me that she's feeling very burnt out and that she wants to take a break from her working life to stay at home for 7 to 8 months to work on herself. Gymming, hiking, gaming, movies, TV shows, etc.
That's an oddly specific amount of time.
She's probably worked it out, unless maybe she's cheating. Who knows? Just to
That's the exact amount of time that you're going to be away and that your boss is going to be. That it takes a heal from a vasectomy.
Oh, smart. I asked her if she wanted to take a vacation or something, but she said no. She just wants to stay home doing minimal things. Then she asked if I am willing to pay 90% of our joint expenses because she doesn't have enough savings that'll last for 8 months. I said I don't have any debts, so I'm pretty okay with that. Well, fair enough.
Oh no.
It's okay. That's the end of the paragraph, so you can chime in if you want to chime in.
I don't see any problem with that. I mean, I can understand if she's worked constantly and she wants to take a bit of a breather and maybe, redirect herself in another way of career or looking for another job. I get that, definitely.
Well, there is a
Yeah.
little bit more. Like there is, it's only a little bit. So I'll continue. Yesterday, I told her if she's going to be at home for the
What
next
happened?
8 months, then house chores should split 20 to 80%. Before it was 50-50. BCS, I don't know what it is. I have put more hours in at work to make sure I earn enough, earn a significant amount for both of us. But to my surprise, this triggered her. She said I'm being unfair and milking the situation, which led to a small
The heck?
argument. So I'm asking for a third person's view here. That is the end of the story. There's no update or anything.
Okay, my screen went blank and I couldn't hear anything you said for a while now, and I'm trying to get into the drive thing so I can load over that video. And it says I need a code.
Code to get into the drive.
Yeah, because I had to use the password and sign into Google.
If you signed into your Google Drive.
Well, that's the Basscast one, right?
Yeah, I know, but you have to sign into yours first.
Sign into your Gmail, just swap it over, finger it over.
So you sign into your Gmail, then your Gmail has access to the drive, and then that's how you save it over.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, whatever. I'll sign into mine.
It doesn't show your password or anything to the Bazcast. Don't worry, man.
We're not going to sign it up to porn or anything. We promise. Right, so that story. What do you think?
And I think we should do it again because Zombie didn't catch any of it, did he? My personal thought is she's a lazy cow.
I understand
And I don't think
she's worked for 3 years, but if she's going to sit at home and do nothing, she needs to do at least some housework. And by the sounds of
housework is nothing.
no, it's not.
Housework is nothing, mate. I took over looking after 2 boys, cleaning the house, sorting everything, and I did 100% of the housework. And it was the easiest job I've ever had in my life. I have no idea what 90% of women moan about. Looking after 2 boys was easy. They were both young kids, and keeping a house spotless because I'm a bit of a weirdo with that kind of thing. It was easy, man. It was. I don't mean to be horrible. I'm not being a sexist pig. I'm not saying any of those things. But I love it. I loved it. I'd rather do that now. So if I when that happened between me and my ex, I took over 100%. She didn't do anything. Didn't do anything. She came in. She had a dinner ready for her. Clothes were all cleaned. 90% of the time, I'd even run a bath for her. So it's just. I think it's. Sorry, mate.
Sounds like you're the perfect husband.
Well, I did my best, mate. I did my best. Obviously wasn't. But yeah, it's.
You can get over here in America. I mean, you could find yourself a nice lad and he'll bring you over. I mean, he can
Yeah,
kind
man.
of take you.
I'll import one over, shall I? I imported the last one. I should have got a receipt. I'll be honest with you, man. But yeah, I think if she's going to be at home, yeah, I think that's a wrong attitude.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, it's one thing to ask that, and then when they're like, no, be like, yeah, I get it. Because I would love to do that too, but I get it. You're like, can I please? No? Okay.
Well, yeah, you can be cheeky and say, look, all I want to do is sit on my arse all day and play video games for 7 or 8 months. But that you can't live like that, can you? You know, it's yeah, that'd be lovely, wouldn't it? You know what I mean? But
it'd be great.
it just doesn't work like that. Someone needs to clean, someone needs to do the washing, someone needs to take the rubbish out, someone needs to make sure the groceries are in the cupboard. And they don't even sound like they've got kids, man.
I don't think they do, if I'm honest.
Yeah. So I mean, it wouldn't be a lot between. I mean, if you think about it, if you're at work 9 to 5, for example, you're hardly home. To be honest with you, she'd be cleaning up after herself more than anything else.
Yeah.
So she's basically turned around and said, "I do not want to clean up after me."
Yeah, that's what it is.
So piss off.
So, looking through the comments quickly, pretty much not the arsehole.
Well, for saying fuck off? No.
No, like he's not the arsehole. Yeah, firmly not the a-hole. Your girlfriend is suffering from burnout, and that isn't her fault. But how she responds to it is. If she's asking you to cover 90% of the household expenses for 7 to 8 months, requiring you to take an extra hours to do so that she can watch TV, games, / etc., chores should be split 90-10, which is, I agree with. It would be slightly different if she were deciding to leave the workforce to be a stay-at-home mother. In those consequences, chores should still primarily fall on the stay-at-home parent, but not 9 to 10, as it's important for the salarized / paid spouse to be an active parent too. If she was suggesting a 1 to 2 week vacation to recover from burnout after paying for after paying off her debt, it would be responsible to do 50-50 split for the short period of time, same as any PTO. But nearly a year, no way. That was one of the comments.
If it, yeah, 100%. If your other half turned around to you and said, "Look, I want a week of doing bugger all," I'd be like, "Go on then. Yeah, I don't blame you. Just have a
Yeah.
week of doing bugger all. Do nothing. Fair
And then
enough."
next week it's my
But
turn.
yeah, you could do that, for example. Yeah, I wouldn't mind a week doing bugger all as well. So yeah, I can. But 7, 8 months, nah, man.
Yeah, that's oddly specific. Like, where did she like calculate that from? Like, she didn't
What
say
were
a
you?
year, didn't say like a month. You know, if you it wasn't like broken up. Oh, ow, that hurt. Yeah, like it wasn't broken up into like some sort of rational, you know, divider.
So
She went straight to 8 months.
what were you saying about the vasectomy? Healing? Oh,
Oh, no, I was just like saying that was a joke, like oddly specific. Like, oh, that's the time it takes for her boyfriend's vasectomy to heal up while you're at work. Meaning that
okay.
like fuck around with us, she's gone.
Yeah, why those exact amount of time? Maybe there was like a break in a job or something. Maybe she had some leave that she could take. Because sometimes when you finish studying, you can take what's it called? I think is it a sabbatical? Is that what Americans call it?
Something like that. We just take a leave of absence for a while from your
Yeah,
position.
yeah.
How long is one of them usually though, zombie?
Oh, they don't. Those aren't like normal things. Only certain places do that, so I have no fucking idea. Like you have to have
There's
like a
some
10-year. You'd have to have like a 10-year job, and be like one of those union jobs where like you can't fire me if I just don't show up to work for a while. So I'm gonna do that, and yeah, we get end up like going on a sabbatical. Basically, it's just like a long vacation. However much time you earned up throughout your time
Mhm.
working for the company. They just call it
I
sabbatical
mean,
when you have like a prestigious position. Otherwise, it's just like you're on vacation.
extended leave or something we'd call it. But yeah, I mean, it's 7, 8 months. It's like I don't understand because it sounds because you get maternity leave is 7 to 8 months, isn't it, after the baby's born? So what I don't maybe what I don't get it. Why she said that exact number? I'm more interested in the backstory of this more than anything
Yeah.
else because she is being a cow.
Yeah, I've looked through the comments and there isn't much there.
Mm.
How
Yeah,
long? How long does it generally take out to like level up like WoW characters and?
depends, man. You can level a WoW character over a weekend.
Oh, okay. Like there's some sort of like quest and shit she has to build up for a month or two, a couple months.
Maybe.
Maybe. So what
Maybe
is
she's got some daily.
final thingy? Is he the a-hole or is he not the a-hole?
Not the a-hole at all. Apart from the fact he's being treated like an a-hole.
Yeah. A zombie?
Yeah, I agree.
Not the a-hole. Case closed.
No bull.
Those motherfuckers. Right.
Boom.
Boom. Story number 1 done.
She is the Amber Heard.
She is the Amber Heard.
Amber Heard. What happened to her? Where's she now? What's she doing?
She's fucked off.
I'm interested. What's Amber Heard doing now? Probably a football team. Hey!
We'll find out what Amber Heard's doing, and I've got another shortish one, which I'll have up on screen.
She's living in Spain.
Yes,
She's in Spain to them. Yeah. Where she gets more privacy. Gets more privacy in Spain.
She fact off. She did. Welcome to Nick's Reddit stories on Basscast.
Back in vocals.
Back in vocals. So this story is: am I the a-hole for telling kids in the cinema to shut the f up after their mother ignored my request to stop jumping on their seat and screaming? What are we thinking because of that title?
I'm thinking they're obviously little tits and they needed a good smack around the back of the head.
Yeah.
So no. Depends how they said it. I mean,
true.
There are certain ways you can call someone an absolute knobhead without actually directly calling them an absolute knobhead. So if he kind of came in swinging and screaming, then he might have been a bit of an arsehole, but
Deserved it.
depends how he's put it across.
That is very true. That is very true. I don't know what Zombie's doing, so continue with the story.
Looks like he's loading in.
I went to the cinema, whatever that word is,
Simina.
the cinema, with friends to watch The Wind Rises from Studio Ghibli, which is anime. That's an animation thing, that Studio Ghibli.
Okay.
They make.
I just heard wind rises. I just thought of farts.
All mine went two different directions. We had two kids around 12 years old behind us with their mother. Since the first few seconds of the movie, they were jumping on their seats, screaming and laughing, as if it was as if they were in their own house. All other people in the theatre kept staring at them, but nobody said anything. Me and my friend turned back a couple times to ask them to please lower their voice, but they didn't care. Their mother replied, "They are just kids. They're 12 years old. If they're 12 years old, they're not kids anymore."
No. And they should have basic manners to when they're out in public. It's just standard manners that should be taught to kids.
Yeah, 100%. They're just kids. Let them have some fun in peace. Or it's a children's movie anyway. Don't make a fuss about it. Yeah, but it's a Studio Ghibli movie, love. You have to make a fuss about a Studio Ghibli movie. They are top quality animators. They kept behaving like that for 1 hour. In the 10-minute break, in 10 minutes break, I sat up and turned to talk with them at their mother. One of the kids said, "WTF do you want?" At which point, I lost it and said, "You kids need to shut your effing mouths and let others watch the goddamn movie." Their mother immediately grabbed me from my shirt while screaming, "How dare you say such things to my kids?" I pushed her back and said, "Don't you even effing dare. It's your kids. It's you and your kids' faults. We paid €30 for these tickets, so they're not in America or England." She argued
Yeah.
for a bit, then finally left with her kids. The entire room staring at us. Now that I calmed down, I feel very embarrassed. I'm not sure I did the right thing. I really would have preferred calling staff, but there was nobody. The ticket sellers at the entrance and the ticket scanners were all fully automated. So
I get the guy's frustration. I get the person's frustration, definitely. But I think that's a generational thing. I think kids nowadays don't have, very few have that kind of level of social etiquette.
they don't.
I don't think the reason is because things like this, online discourse has destroyed that respect for social situations. And I mean, I'm going to hazard a guess and say they're French, because that's the kind of thing that happens in France a lot.
Always the French.
Yes, it's the French, definitely. But I get it. I can understand frustration, but I think I would have just gone. I'd have walked out. I'd have gone, got my money back, complained, and just walked out. Because it's just that you couldn't enjoy the film with those kids jumping around and stuff. First of all, the mother, she's instilling in those kids that what they're doing is correct.
Yeah, so she's a shit parent. Like, let's be honest, she's a shit parent if she's doing that to her kids.
Yeah. I mean, fair enough. I think the guy went a bit too over the top.
I disagree. Like, if you're with me, that would have been me. That would have been pushed to my limits, and I probably would have pushed her, and I would have fucking threw her. Like, fuck off.
Yeah.
Like, your kid stole said the F word to me first, so I'm gonna fucking say it back.
100%. I get it. I understand. I get why you did that. I would have been more sarcastic than nasty, though, than violent. But if she grabbed hold of me, then I don't know, I just wouldn't move.
Stick
Be the best way to do it.
Quality. Equality thing.
Yeah, it's just oh, fucking hell, break her nose in the middle of the cinema. But I think that's more of a social statement, that story. Unfortunately, that's the way it's going, isn't it?
Unfortunately,
I mean, I had this little kid walk up to me in town. I was with my boys, and he goes, "Nice haircut," and I goes, "You're a cunt." And he stopped still, and he did not expect me to say anything to him. He did not expect it, and the look on his face was just pure fear. It's like they don't expect that comeback.
Neither do
I
they
promise you.
to get away with shit.
Yeah, and as soon as somebody kind of steps over that mark and goes into their territory that they think they're safe on, it's the same. I had this guy for some reason just walk up to me and start walking up the road with me. So I think it's because I'm quite big, and he was like trying to like pull himself, and he started going, and he said my accent's strange, and we started talking about where I came from. I said, "Oh, you wouldn't want to live over there because it's quite dangerous and stuff like that." And he started to get really
Following him or anything.
like angry.
Was he angry?
It was like I don't know whether he was on something. He sounded a bit strange, but I just kept on going and just kept on talking about it because he was asking questions, saying I'd survive, I'd be all right, like trying to be all hard and stuff. But I don't think people expect for people to say what they think in a face-to-face situation. And I think it scares the hell out of people when you actually say what you think.
Or does people don't like
But
brutal honesty? They don't.
no, I mean that's why that woman in the cinema, she probably got defensive. Well, I would. I could understand, kids. My kid wouldn't do that, not a chance, because I'd have a go at him before that bloke even had a chance to. But I think maybe she got defensive. I can understand. I get that, but then at the same time, she should have said, "Look, you just told him that, so in theory, he can say that to you if he wants to." But it's a social thing, mate. People just don't know how to interact with each other.
So zombies put in the chat, not the chat, the live stream. Come back as if he couldn't handle it. They feel challenged. Yeah, 100% they do.
Yeah,
Just don't like it.
yeah, no, definitely.
So
Can't remember where I was going with that guy, but he said something. I can't remember. Sorry, it doesn't matter.
Not the a-hole. 12 years old is pretty old enough to be able to sit in a seat and not scream during an entire movie. That if that's how they want to behave during movies, then the mum needs to provide them with a home theatre. Parents need to figure out if their kids' behaviour is extremely destructive in public, and then they refuse to parent their kids in public. The public will say something.
But they're 14. Sorry, 12 years old is the second year of high school, isn't it? Second year of high school.
Second year of secondary school, yeah.
I had a job. I wouldn't have talked back to anybody. Especially like like if why the hell are they going to the cinema with their mommy? Do you know what I mean?
It's
At 12 years old.
But back in the 1800s, Bollum's completely different.
Yeah, we were, I was part of a pickpocketing group walking around in 18th century London.
I don't know what the actual thing's called, but the Jets versus the Sharks is based on you win it, whatever that.
Is that? Oh, yeah, that.
I forgot what it's called.
You mean
Jets versus Sharks?
what's that called? It's a musical, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a musical.
Yeah, man.
Zombie might know.
Yeah, I know it. Geez, keep thinking the Sound of Music, but it's not at all.
The Sound of Music.
Oh, can't remember. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, that was me. I went from the Mohawk. I used to have like a 1950s DA kind of style thing, swoosh going back with a leather jacket on. Yeah.
100%.
Mark myself off James Dean. That's what I was trying to do. He was younger than me though, so
I'll read one more comment.
Many things are.
Our verdicts. Not the a-hole. She had plenty of opportunity to get her kids in line. She wanted her kids to have free reign, to be as loud and as annoying as they wanted. She could have stayed home and watched the movie. She definitely didn't have no right to touch you.
No,
Yeah.
So,
didn't have no.
verdicts. Get them in.
I've kind of said mine.
Yeah, and I only came in
Oh.
at the end because my shit turned off. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna say, fuck those kids, because kids deserve to get smacked.
Yeah.
Sometimes,
Not the
but not like yeah.
Bye.
Sometimes a stranger just needs to kick a kid in the back of the head just to let them know they're out of line.
Yep.
Because apparently they're too soft. So it's got to come from a stranger.
Yeah.
You got to show them that they're not completely safe.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, that was my point. That was my point. See, we live in such a society where we have like a built-in safety. Like in the UK, we're safe, and same as in the US, you've got a police force, you've got that system around you that keeps you safe. So they think that they can say whatever they want to,
and do whatever they want, as if
yeah.
as if being in the right somehow makes them like around here, people will walk out into the middle of the street because it's like, oh, because cars will stop for me because I'm a pedestrian, and it's like sometimes, but when they run you over, like you're still dead. Granted,
Yeah.
your family, like, yeah, you can sue them, and then that money will pay off all your medical bills and all the horrible trauma you have to go through after getting run the fuck over, and that's the part they don't understand. Like,
Yeah, but you're either dead or severely injured.
yeah,
I don't. Yeah, why take that risk?
they have to get compensated for something. The compensation means you have to receive something from it. And if you're getting a bunch of money for free, it's because you had a big fucking problem from what happened. And they don't recognize that fact. It's like, okay, so it's to pay your funeral costs. That's your compensation, but you don't get to see it.
Exactly.
I got a story about that. Somebody riding motorbikes, and this.
Video off. Here. Now tell your story.
Oh, okay. This guy was actually trying to jump in the way of this guy riding a motorbike because he was bombing it down, doing about 120 or something. And this guy jumped in the way of his bike. He hit him, killed the bloke. Didn't get any compensation for it. It was his own fault.
We got a problem around here, and I actually posted it on our local site, like whatever, because people who are riding bikes will not only ride on the wrong side of the road, they won't even look at intersections. They'll go straight through without even a glance. And when they almost get
Really?
hit, yeah, they won't even like. I videotaped one of it. Like anybody, them on those motor fucking scooters, like motorized scooters and shit like that. They will just ride straight through traffic without a glance, without looking, without anything, because it's the job of the people to fucking stop. It's like, well, not if they can't see you. Not if you're going across like directly into the line of traffic. Like, and then they'll flip off cars and shit like that because like you almost hit me. It's like, well, no shit.
Because you're in the way. And you're doing half my speed and you drive in front of me.
Yeah.
Those things are banned in some areas in the UK. You can't ride them like on paths or anything. You can't.
We literally have
banning them.
We have specific bike lanes. Like they not only not only do we have laws regarding how those bikes and stuff like that are supposed to be motor operated, but we have specific lanes designed for them directly, paid for by the state and everything. Like, and they not only don't use them, they're on the wrong side of the fucking road, driving directly into oncoming traffic.
Do you think that's like pure stupidity, or is that them thinking, oh, it's okay, I'll just sue the person that hits me? Do you think it's purposeful?
I don't think it's so much like they'll sue. It's more of like, this is what we do. Why would you think otherwise? It's like that's how this is. Like that's how it's always been. It's like that doesn't make it right.
Yeah, but that attitude will be the downfall of society. If everyone just goes, oh, this is what I do. I'll walk down the street nicking old ladies' handbags. That's the downfall of society. If everyone starts thinking like that.
Yeah, and there's a like thought experiment or whatever it was that they did with monkeys, where they had 5 of them in a cage, and then they had a banana on a ladder. And anytime you tried to go up the ladder, they would spray the monkeys with water and like bug the fuck out of them. Yeah. So eventually they stopped going up the ladder because they didn't like it. So what they would do is they would take out one of the monkeys and then put in a new one, and that one would instinctively go up to try to get the banana. But all the other ones who were there would attack the monkey and stop it from doing it because they didn't want to get sprayed.
Yeah.
And eventually, that one would learn to do that too. So what they would do is they would, remove one of the older ones and then replace it with a brand new one again. And the monkey, even the one who had never been sprayed, would join in it to stop the new one from
Doing
going up
that.
the ladder for that. To the point where it got to the point where they had replaced all of the monkeys. None of the monkeys that were there had ever been sprayed with water, but they all attacked them from trying to go up and stop them from doing this just because that's what they always did. It was just the
Yeah.
natural progression of behavior.
Do you think we live in such a nannied state, like a nannied world where everything? I was watching. I know Carl Pilkington is this. He's a British comedian kind of thing. He does a lot of stuff with Ricky Gervais, and they kind of take the piss out of him. He was talking about helmets on motorbikes, and he said something. He said, "Why do we force people to wear helmets on motorbikes? If someone's stupid enough not to wear a helmet and they die, it's their fault."
We don't
that's what
actually.
it
We
was.
don't have a helmet law in our state.
No,
If
but
you
it's
want to ride a
like an
motorcycle, you have to
example.
be. But yeah, that's what we did. There was a big debate about it, and the law ended up citing that if you're under 18, then you have to wear a helmet. After that, it's up to you.
Yeah.
And I,
If you're stupid enough.
yeah, I know a couple people who've died in motorcycle accidents because they weren't wearing helmets. So it happens.
But it's kind of like if you're so protected, because they are, like, a lot of people are just protected nowadays. It's just ridiculous. Are you told, like for example, on the side of bleach it says "do not drink." And so if you have to put "do not drink" on the side of bleach,
Mhm.
does that mean that society is just stupid, or does it mean that everything is so, like, covered in plastic? You know, when you get like new
No, at that point,
parents.
because how that actually, the reason that's actually there and all that type of stuff, it's not even that it's so stupid. It's that people are so, I don't know what the word is, but litigious, or yeah, they'll sue you for not saying specifically, oh, you didn't tell me not to drink it, you didn't say it wasn't bad enough, and you gave it to me. There was always the chance I could have accidentally did it, and it gets to the point where they have to cover their ass in such stupid ways because someone did something at least once and they got sued for it.
Isn't that a good way of culling the herd, though?
Well, yeah,
Get
but
rid
if
of the
they let them do it,
stupid
yeah, but that's
ones.
the problem is though, if you don't do that, then you have to pay the family of the victims. Like, oh, they didn't say not to use, like the girl, she used Gorilla Glue on her hair.
Oh yeah, man, and it became a big thing, didn't it? It was like
Yeah, because she tried to sue them, and they said, and they won against her because it literally says this project is permanent. Do not use it on anything that you do not want to stay permanent. It's like, but it doesn't say you're not supposed to use it on hair. It's like, well, what the fuck?
But I think that's a perfect point. That's a perfect example of like why it's kind of got to that certain point. It's like years and years ago. If you like, if I was a 12-year-old kid going at my mom and I started having a go at somebody or started acting like a little shit, you'd get a smack around the back of the head, or you'd get told off, or that person you were being arsey to would give you a clip, and they would back in the day. And the coppers would. They'd grab you by the back. They used to grab you by your sideburns, sideburns, and they used to twist them.
Hope you're all
Or
right.
they'd grab you by the ear, the teacher would.
Yep.
And I know I'm talking like long time ago now, but you
talking
learned.
early 90s. They still did that kind of, sort of. This when it started losing its potential, because you got to remember, it's not the action, it's not how you do it. It's the fact that people aren't being corrected. You don't have to physically hit a kid to get them to understand you. You have to at least try to make the fucking kid understand you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The problem with the non spanking your kids side of like the argument is not only are they not spanking their kids, they're not even doing their side of like their argument. They're not even sitting them down and making them understand why what they're doing is wrong. That is the key factor.
You don't need to. I've smacked my kids. Any times I've ever smacked my kids when they're going to do something dangerous, and you have a reaction. So if a kid's going to grab something, I'll smack the back of their hand, or I'll grab their hand. It's the only time. My mom never. It was the threat. Now, when I was being brought up, the threat was worse than the actual the dealing of it. So if you got to a point where your mom said, "Look, I'm going to smack you," I'd never been smacked by my mom, but just that threat, and she'd say it just like that, and you just wouldn't do it. Nowadays, they're not scared of it because they'll phone up Childline or or
Well,
cry to
yeah,
their
well,
teacher or whatever. It's
we've
like,
actually gotten reported to our childline group 19 times with false reports by my wife's ex because of like trying to do every little thing, and they're always like, "We're sorry, we had to call you and let you know because he's doing it again," and it's not even anything at all. But like, there's a difference between spanking a kid because what they're doing is going to be dangerous at the time. Like, if they're reaching for something sharp and you smack their hand away from it, they're going to learn and associate pain with
Yep.
that sharpness. But
Yeah.
if you're going to teach your kid, hey, when your dad gets home, he's going to smack you for this, you did this, he's going to learn ways or think of ways of how to avoid getting smacked, not how to avoid not doing what he did wrong. That's not where.
Yeah.
That's not how we learn things. Like, it's like Pavlovian instincts. You have to associate the punishment with the actual negative thing. So if you start using spanking and stuff like that as a punishment, they're just going to associate the time in between the action and the time until they actually get punished with ways around trying to get away from the punishment.
Yeah.
It's
And the
just
way
natural psychology.
but then you learn certain skills from that as well. I mean, I learned how to be a cheeky little chappy and kind of I was back in the day I was cute. I'm not cute anymore, but I used to use that to my,
see it.
cheeky smile, a little bit of a, you can get away with certain things and you learn social skills, you learn social etiquette, and you learn how to manipulate the system. The only thing I ever learned at school was how to manipulate people and how to talk to people. Only thing I ever learned from school. And I don't think kids have that anymore. And also, I mean, just having parents that just don't teach you how to deal with certain social situations. It's so important. I don't university degrees, all that crap. It's not worth a shit. If you haven't got self confidence, if you haven't got comfortable in social situations, and if you haven't got common sense, doesn't matter how many degrees
It's also weird
you've
though,
got.
like when you have like disorders and shit too, that you have to focus through too. Yeah, it's weird. Damn it, I can't hear anything. Everything went blank.
Yes, okay. Great topic of
As
conversation.
soon as it came back on, I lost all audio.
Totally.
Everything froze.
Well, I just turned my camera on, so it did go black on my side as well, so you're all right. Right.
It's picked up again. Oh, hello.
He's just probably coming in and out just to hear everything.
We were on topic. Mate. We were talking about kids, and we were on topic.
Exactly.
It's drinking bleach.
Right, so we've got 3 more left.
Okay.
And, we'll leave zombies this week, but that'll be pushed to next week just so when he sends me it, it's there. And then we'll do that next week along with the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. We'll go on to horror stories after this.
Maybe Zombie should stop trying to upload it. I
Yeah.
think he's trying to upload it when he's on the Discord. I think it's probably best if he just knocks it on the head.
Yeah. Leave it for now, and then do it during the week. But make sure you do it, and then obviously tell me you've done it.
Maybe he has stopped it already.
Someone has your password.
Who has your power? Ghost there. Hello, Ghost, mate. You all right? Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again.
It was only the bad.
Keep the labels off and just let people who are stupid drink the bleach. I think so. Natural selection. That's my point. Natural selection. I think we've got too many stupid people breeding with other stupid people, make stupid kids. Yeah, I agree with you. Too many stupid people having sex. That's the problem. But we can see you now, Zombie. I can see you, mate.
Hi there.
Hello.
Welcome to the Zombie Show. No. Oh, can you imagine having like a should have like a Bazcast wow, I was gonna say threesome. No, like theme song where it's kind of like the old Archie Bunker. Just like thoughts and things to say.
That is correct, Mr. Ghost. Right, the next. Just
If we double the stupid.
with just Nick.
Ooh, 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 ooh. Just Nick.
Just Nick.
I think we need to sort out because your mic goes really low whenever we talk. So as soon as we talk, we block you out completely, mate.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
I don't know what that is either. But I just thought I'd say that.
Everything's
Focus this.
You focus this.
Focus this person. That's just me looking at you now, Almighty. That's what
Okay.
focus this person means.
I'm gonna focus right on you.
Focus on you. Oh yeah. Go on, Almighty.
the a-hole for refusing to stop the car for my stepsister and refusing to drive her back.
Okay.
From where? Abortion clinic?
We'll find out in the story.
Yeah.
My mum and stepdad live around 12 hours from me by car. My stepsister, Jane, obviously not a real name, lives around 8 hours away, but is en route if I'm driving. On Friday, my girlfriend and I finished work at lunch to drive to my mum's to spend the weekend. My stepbrother is getting married on Saturday, and we're going to work from home for a week. I begrudgingly agreed to pick
Grudgingly.
Begrudgingly. Regurgitatedly.
up.
I threw up all over the bitch.
Agreed to pick up and drive Jane also. I was curious of doing this, as we have never got on, and she finds a way to make everything an argument or a political debate. Firstly, when I arrived to pick her up, she made us wait outside for 30 minutes as she hadn't finished packing. You would have that done before, and realistically, I was
Yeah.
annoyed by this,
That bitch.
and it's a long drive, and I wanted to get there before 2 a.m. Hour one of the journey with Jane in the car. She requested to stop to use the restroom, so we stopped. Hour two.
Kind of left her there.
She
That's where he left her.
okay,
In the bathroom at a 7-Eleven. Leave her at the Piggly Wiggly. Just get the fuck out of here. Don't tell Grandma she left her out in Ohio.
Hour two of the journey. She requested my girlfriend turn the music completely off as she didn't like music. As question mark.
Who the fuck doesn't like music? What kind of sociopathic, like psychopath, doesn't like music?
Jane.
Even if you don't like the music, it doesn't matter, does it? I mean, sorry, Almighty. Even if you don't like the music, I've been in the amount of taxis I've been in that are like playing like, and I'm just like, I don't like this music, but I'm just gonna put up with it. Not bad. Sorry, Almighty.
But like, it's an 8-hour drive. How long is it? It's like a really far drive. And what you want to do? Listen to the sound of the wind the whole time?
So it's 12 hours from his place, but it's 8 hours from her place.
Just give her a fucking what is it, Benadryl, and tell her to shut the fuck up and lay down.
Hour three of the journey. Jane wanted to stop for some food. I asked her to hold on an hour as I had already planned where we were stopping and getting gas. I wanted to limit stops. Fair enough. Jane then spent the next hour complaining of feeling sick and faint.
Is she like got some sort of
Yes.
disorder? And like she's like, help! My blood sugar's low. I'm diabetic, asshole. Like she's in there bitching about her diabetes again. She's all like, oh, I feel faint and sick. Oh, my blood sugar's crashing. Oh my god, I'm going into a diabetic coma. Jesus Christ, just get a fucking break.
When she doesn't kick her out the car.
Eat a Snickers, you fucking over dramatic now. That's horrible. Like watch her like have some sort of like a really bad blood condition, and you're like, no, seriously, I don't feel like it.
Hour four of the journey. Right, hour four, we stopped and Jane disappeared for half hour. And when my girlfriend found her, she was sat outside on FaceTime. On FaceTime, one of her friends. Hour five, we stopped because Jane needed to use the restroom. At which point, Jane purchased another meal.
Now.
Wait, what happened?
Jane purchased.
Another meal.
I'd be hungry again too.
She needed chips and. I was 6. I pulled over so Jane could sit shotgun as she was getting car sick, at which point she wanted to debate why marriage is a party. I think that's right. Archaic exists to limit women. But don't get me on that debate, because if anything, it's understand. I was 7. Stopped for restrooms and more snacked at Jane's request. I was 8. We were on the final stretch to my mum's house, and Jane requested to stop again. I said no, we are nearly there. Jane then says that she is going to be sick and we have to stop. I refused, and I say I'll pull over.
And she throws up all over the back of the seat and then starts kicking the back of his head. Are we there yet? 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 Sorry.
Over if she's be sick, but we were 30 minutes away.
He feels like the driver does as I'm sitting here yelling about it, like, oh, is he there yet?
I'm this driver right now.
I don't hear anything.
You got muffled, almighty mate.
I can't hear you. Hi, wait, hold on. I can't hear you. Are you there? I can see him spanking it, but it's not, I can't hear it. Spank it again. Spank it harder this time.
Spank. Give it a whipping.
Give it a
slap.
Daddy. Tell her you want to call it daddy.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hey. What's your name, little boy?
Weird. What's your name, little boy? Jeez, man, if I had put a phone call like that.
Can we be friends?
No, you weirdo.
I like the smell of your hair. Is that the new light shampoo?
I'm hiding, man. You can give him the hair on the back. I haven't got much hair on the back of my neck, but it's sticking up.
It's better than the hair in the back of your ball sack. I didn't even know there was a way to get hair back there. I thought I trimmed it off, but no, there's a fucking electric clippers right there. I think it's scary.
Zombie, you want to be careful, man. The coppers run away, right?
What? What?
They want to
That's
question you about some things.
Hello.
About your conversations, online combos.
Hello.
That's okay.
Hello?
We're all over the legal drinking age. Yeah, we can hear you.
Right.
What's your name, sis? Hello, little boy.
Right. All
Do you like listen to Michael Jackson albums? Have you ever heard of Prince?
Hello.
Purple rain, purple rain. I'll show you what it's
Prince
like.
never got done for that, did he? Only Michael Jackson.
Yeah, it's just Michael Jackson, but his Prince is
That's
prettier.
all right. Prince, yeah.
Yeah.
Prince is
Purple
pretty,
Rain.
yeah. Not that he's a little fella, wasn't he, Prince?
Yeah, they're all a little tiny.
Sorry, Almighty. You all sorted?
I think so.
Yay.
Right. Where was I? When we arrived at my mum's house, she announces to my stepdad that I refused to stop the car for her, and she said, etc. My mum then shouts at me.
Etc. Why would you say etc.? That's a weird thing to tell. He didn't do this, etc.
Jane is 29 and I am 28, so not children. Since then, all weekend, Jane has made reference to it and told my girlfriend that I can be cruel and nasty since has been since a child. I have now said I'm not driving her back. She has no transport home. Am I the
Nah, not really.
I mean, at the age of 29, acting like that. Jeez, what? Just what? I don't know. I just no. I don't. The words escape me. There are words, but I don't think I should say them. To be honest, no. What a twat. He's doing her a favour for one.
Yeah.
And he's moaning all the time. And it's not like she, I mean, how many times has she got to eat? And if she has a diabetic issue or like some kind of dietary issue where she does need to eat all the time, then take some snacks with her. How disrespectful to go and sit in a forecourt, be on FaceTime with her friend while they're trying to get to where they need to get to. This is
These are OnlyFans.
screwed. OnlyFans, yeah.
Yeah, they wanted to see her in the back of like a pickup truck outside of like one of those old redneck clubs. You know, they have in the back of gas stations.
I've always
That's what
wanted to
it
go
is.
one of them.
So like strip clubs in the back of a gas station.
Yeah, man. I'll be up for that.
Yeah.
I want to go
That's
to
what
one
the
of them.
donkey shows are.
Yeah. Yeah.
Honestly,
I
old
don't
lady
think,
fucking donkey? No.
to be honest, I think both of them are a bit of a pack of tits, but she's more of a tit. I wouldn't have given her a lift at all. I'd have left her in the petrol station.
Yeah.
Chucked a Snickers at her and told her to piss off.
Get some
That
nuts.
reminds me of Betty White because she's in the commercial. Snickers commercial. Betty White. I can imagine her
Yeah.
bitching in the gas station. I'm hungry. Eat
I
a
bet she
Snickers
didn't.
by yourself.
I bet she didn't even pay for any petrol. I bet she didn't.
She didn't. She wouldn't have done.
What a knob.
So a
Absolute knob.
Unfortunately, she doesn't have an off knob. It's just a fucking on knob and just fucking just crank it
Mhm.
up and up and up and up until you want to fucking leave her in New Jersey.
So one of the comments, not the a-hole. She is impossible, deliberately so. It's amazing to think that there are people like this. Your parents will get on your case about not driving her back. So get ready for a fight, but don't cave. To be honest, when she made you wait at the start of the journey again, deliberately to assume power over you, you should have just taken off and let her figure it out. Some people like your SS pull these stunts because no one stops them.
Yeah, man. She got away with it all her life, and she, I bet she was like the princess.
That's why she went and told her daddy as soon as they got there. Like, what do you mean me do? He wouldn't let me stop and eat my like Burger King. I want 7-Eleven. I want Wendy's. I needed a Slurpee, slushy, whatever the fuck they're called, ones with chocolate in the milk in them. I don't even give me gas.
I mean, why would you need to stop to eat twice, full meals on a 12-hour drive?
12 hours? It's like you need breakfast, lunch, and dinner in this period of time.
No, twice? Like, no way, man. I'd
For dinner
stop
in 12
once.
hours? It's a full day.
No way,
I mean,
man.
you could push it, but like, you don't eat more than once a day.
No, I eat once a day.
Okay, well then that's you. I can see needing to stop more than once and like an 8-hour thing for dinner. The dickhead part was he had a plan. He's like, no, we're gonna stop here. This is how we're gonna do it. Like the whole navigation's all set up and go. And she's like, no, we need to do it this way. It's like, no, the plan's already set. We're not changing everything around because you want to. Like, we're gonna eat dinner. We're gonna stop just like you want. But no, we're not gonna do it the way you want it.
Yeah, but this one, she had 3 dinners.
It wouldn't be 3 dinners. It would be breakfast,
Oh,
lunch, and dinner. Which, well, here's the thing, though. You're kind of right because
an extra.
breakfast should have been handled before you left. So
Yeah.
there shouldn't be one. In the middle of it, have a lunch. You can get around doing that by packing one. But they didn't. But here's the thing: they had the plan to stop at a certain time in a certain place. So the fact that she was actually getting what she wanted in the first place, too.
Yeah, one stop I can understand. One stop.
That's the thing. Yeah, but like, in the last one, it was within the last hour of the trip. Like, no. Like, if you do that when you have a couple hours left, and it's going to actually, make you sick and shit like that, if you're going to be sitting in the car hungry, because I get sick if I don't eat. I actually get physically nauseous and fucking it's nasty. But I also bring food. I plan ahead. Yeah. That's the difference. So the plan, it was the fact that like she wanted to do it again and didn't plan ahead on that one, and then the fact that when they were going to stop her, like they did plan to, she just needed to change the plan for some fucking reason because it needed to suit her. That was the problem.
Right. I got this whole scenario in my head. I bet she's proper fugly. I bet she is, and right, she's jealous of the brother because he's got a missus. I bet you, and she planned all this all the way along just to cause hassle, and that's why she was having the argument about getting married as well, because she's never going to get married
or
get laid.
That she's just jealous It's just that she's, proper fugly, like you said, and it's her personality that shit, and that's why she's by herself. And that's what it is. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
she's not that she's
Got an
jealous. She's
ugly
just a bad fucking.
personality.
Yeah, she has an ugly personality,
Yeah.
so that's just how it is.
Yeah.
She doesn't have to be
You
jealous
can-
to be a dick person.
What are the verdicts?
Virgin.
Virgin. I don't think he's an arsehole. I think he put up with too much. He put up with a lot more than I'd put up with.
I
Bit of a
would say it's a
pushover, but
justified
not an
asshole.
arsehole. Yeah.
Justified assholery. Yeah,
think
it's
he's
an
got a-
asshole thing to do,
he's-
but he's got a justification for doing it.
He's got some repercussions coming. I think that person is right, though. I think the family definitely they take her side. I think by the sounds of it.
Yeah, because they'd have to bail her out, and that's probably what it would be. It wouldn't be the fact that like he was wrong. It would be the fact that like, oh crap, now we have to fucking deal with this. And that's probably what it would end up being. She'd end up, having to take a fucking plane or a cab or some sort of fucking thing, or one of them would have to drive it. And it's like, oh, we had to take out of our day because you couldn't deal with it. It's like, well, you couldn't deal with her either. If the problem was so bad that you couldn't take, yeah.
Chucked her on a coach or something.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, not the arsehole.
Yeah.
And end the video with that. Now you can talk about anything you want. So
I like that. I like that. What are we going to talk about then?
I don't know. I can just
I
jump
thought-
into the next video if you want. Next.
Yeah, you can do. I think I was going to have that idea about talking about cult classic movies and why cult classic movies get that status. I think that's quite an interesting idea.
Just movies that will
And like
be
late.
years and years and years, isn't it?
Exactly. Why do they get that status? It's like and also like the history of the VHS tape, and like the idea that a lot of VHS tapes from the 80s have become cult classics over the years because of that. I find that interesting. Like Big Trouble in Little China.
Fucking hipsters. All the stuff that was like commonplace when we were kids is now like hipster fucking propaganda. Not propaganda, but yeah.
But that's super. It's weird, man,
Depressing.
to think that it's like retro. Yeah, and it's crazy to think that's retro now, but it is. I suppose it's yonks ago, isn't it? Eh?
You're literally Borog retro. You are literally retro.
Yeah, exactly. Old shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I was talking to a kid who's 20 years old, and I just didn't even think about it. He's a proper computer geek. I was talking about cannon fodder on the Amiga 500. And it was released in like 1994. And I was talking about it like he knew exactly what I was talking about. And he was like, I'm really sorry. I don't even know what that is. I don't even, what's an Amiga? I was like, geez, of course, yeah. I didn't even think about that.
But it was funny because we were looking at I saw TikTok the other day where they mentioned they call us Zennials, which is the people who are born between like 75 and 85, which is a mix between like we're too feral to be like millennials, but yet we're too computer savvy to be Generation X, or we're too positive to be Generation X, or whatever it is. It's like we're that in between group where we were born and lived in a world without technology, like it didn't exist, and now we live in a world completely immersed in it. We're the only group that ever actually grew into both worlds. Like we're the like missing link between the two.
Yeah.
And how bizarre that actually is, and that's fucking fun.
Remember having to meet up with your mates without having a phone?
Yeah.
Oh man, that was crazy times. That was crazy times.
You had to figure out if your friend was home by whether or not like their lights were on, or if there was a car in the driveway.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, his bike's here, he's probably here.
So
or you could, but it would go right to voicemail, or not voicemail. They didn't have voicemail. It would just go beep, beep, beep. Oh, I guess their mom's on the phone, so.
We did actually remember those old, I don't know, you remember the old tape recording voicemails?
Oh, yeah, eventually. Voicemail, yeah, they're the answering machines.
Yeah, the old answering machines. You want me to sit there for ages recording a perfect voicemail. Sorry, the war residence isn't home at the moment. Please leave your message after the beep. And he'd all those kids in the background.
And it wasn't digital, so whatever you said once, that's what stuck.
Yeah.
You couldn't go like, it's like, if you want to save your message, hit 1. Or, no, it wasn't any of that shit. It just that's what came out.
Yeah. So you're there going, oh, hello. My nan was the funniest. She used to go beard, and you'd hear her going, hello, hello, hello. She'd be talking to this thing, and it's like, Jesus,
that
man.
was such a thing. Everybody's grandmother did that in our generation. There's always like
they must have.
because at the very least, they would say into the thing, they'd get it like okay, and then it'd be done. Like, now how do I turn it off? How, it went right. Okay, how are they gonna know that I saved it? How are they gonna know? I know that I did it. How are they gonna know though? When they have a box and on the other end, mom, they have one. It'll say it. There'll be a light. It's like, but I can't see a light. Not on your end. It's on there. It's like, but where's the light? It's on their machine, at their house. It's like, well, so how is that at their house if I'm here? It's like, oh, shut up.
My grandmother used to rent a telly. She rented a telly for like maybe 30 or 40 years. I promise she rented the same bleeding telly, which was the comical thing about it. And she used to get the telly and turn the colour down. So it'd be black and white. And we used to go around the house and be like, Nan, why don't you just turn the colour up? You got a colour to, oh, I don't like it, don't touch the knobs, just turn it back down. So she used to pay for a colour TV license for one, rent a coloured TV, which wasn't cheap, and she used to turn the colour down.
That's funny.
I
But that whole deal about like renting TVs and shit like that's weird for me. Like that was not something we did over here, really.
We used to have TVs with like little, this was the 70s though. We used to have tellies with
Yeah.
like a coin slot on the side, and it used to turn off.
that ball as well. Early 2000s.
What's that?
We had a few of them.
Did you have them then?
Yeah.
Because we had one in the 80s, but not in the 2000s. Hey, really?
Pound coins, boom, in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
7 hours for a
it's
pound.
7 hours for a pound. I can't remember how much it was when I was a kid, but when I
In
we had one,
English,
it was
or like in America, if you pay for 7 hours and that's only £1, like good on you, dude. If that's 7
7
hours for
hours.
£1, you know, she would have been
Oh,
pretty.
yeah.
The box when you're really skint, and then obviously you take the money,
Yeah.
and you put the money back in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We used to do that.
How we
And also the
story.
old. Go on then. Sorry.
I
Yeah,
hate
sorry. Go for it, mate.
Memorial thingy, but it's 1:15 now. We've got 2 stories, and my fucking mic's falling, if you can see.
It keeps going funny, man. It's doing it worse now, like cutting out when it gets to a certain volume.
I don't know how to do that.
Just talk in a monotone voice like this.
Talk like.
Yeah, just keep a nice.
Is it me or is it doing that to you
I
as
can
well,
hear.
Zombie? Can you hear
Yeah,
that as well?
I can tell too. Yeah. So I try to like be as quiet as possible when he's talking, so that way it's not us clipping it. I think it's just that the way the way he hits certain notes and certain
Yeah, like
words.
levels.
Well, when
Yeah.
you're talking, I have to raise my voice because you guys.
Yeah, and I think what it's doing is it's correcting for it,
Yeah.
and it doesn't stabilize until you're done talking, and then. Yeah. But either way, you sound pretty.
I'll check my settings.
Yeah, because I'm gonna turn you up on my side. Hey, you're on 200 now, mate. Turned you up to all the way to the top.
If I take this off, but maybe that might thingy. So I had automatically determine input sensitivity.
Yeah,
Yes.
works good.
That sounds a lot better.
I've turned it off now. It's at 60 dB. I don't know what that means.
60
Yeah,
decibels.
so decibels. Yeah.
So shall I turn it higher?
Well, sounds good
can.
now.
Right. Well, we'll keep it like that.
Sounds good this side.
If it goes again, let me know, and then we'll try it higher.
Cool, man.
Right. Let's start. Let's get up.
This is something we call a biscuit. I don't know what the fuck you guys call it.
Put it on the screen again before I sing my little song.
It's like a scone or a muffin.
Oh yeah, that's right. You'd call them scones. We call them biscuits.
Or crumpet. Maybe a crumpet.
Crumpet. Good old crumpet. So,
Bit of crumpet.
Read Reddit stories to the Buzzcast. Boo, boo, boo. I change the song each and every time.
Beautiful.
Only because you forget it each and every time.
I
I,
totally forget it.
I would. I wouldn't. I wouldn't blame him for forgetting it.
Am I the a-hole for being a bride
Yeah.
to a close friend at her wedding, even though my girlfriend was not asked to come?
Why? Wait, hold on. Who's like girlfriend as in girlfriend, or girlfriend as in like friend?
Girlfriend, like as in.
In a bridesmaid to a close friend at her wedding, even though my girlfriend was asked not to come.
Depends on why they were asked not to come. Is it
Yeah,
they don't want
exactly.
like lesbians in their wedding, or is it because they don't want like they don't have room?
Yeah,
No,
maybe
'cause-
they didn't have room.
Yeah, like so, like maybe like the girlfriend, like, oh, you just started dating last month. Don't bring that person up for my like wedding photos and shit like that if they're not going to be here in forever. I don't know.
That makes sense.
Yeah, because if it's like a boyfriend and girlfriend, like just they picked up last week at the bar,
Yeah.
then it's it's different, isn't it? You know what I mean? I wouldn't expect them to come.
You didn't plan for the +1.
Yeah, yeah. You don't even know them yet, do you? After a week of going out with somebody, you don't know them, do you? You're not going to invite them to a wedding. That's weird.
You don't want to.
I know it would be.
Pictures of that, do you?
We're just like
Pictures. You don't want them in them.
we're making up this. No, we're making up this entire story of this as if
Yeah,
we've read it.
I know.
already.
Yeah, I know.
Right. So
We are judgy fucks, aren't we? We hear a title, we're just like, okay, these people are assholes all the way around because of this, and this. Like, oh, they didn't do any of that. Never mind.
a close friend of mine since college got married recently. She and I have been friends since freshman year of college, and since we work in the same field in the same city,
Damn it, I froze again.
we've remained pretty close. We'll call her Tina. I started dating my girlfriend Alex a year and a half ago. So they have been, that answers one of your questions. They have been together
Yeah,
for a bit of time.
while. Yeah.
They do not get along. So I can't
Okay.
pinpoint exactly
The computer's doing that freezing thing. Oh, that was weird sounding.
what when I talk. It's definitely a Discord thing then. It's got to be.
Probably sounds normal for you guys. It's like robots over here.
It's normal for me on my end. Alex,
Sounds
Okay, I
fine
can
this
hear you.
end.
I hear you back to normal now.
Alex says she just doesn't like Tina. Tina typically is just responding to Alex's energy. I don't try to get them to be besties, but I just want them to get along because they are both very important to me. So when Tina got engaged, she told me that she wanted me in her wedding, which I was incredibly excited to do this for her. It, however, was difficult for me to make a decision as to whether or not do this because Tina told me she wasn't fully comfortable with Alex coming, which I guess makes sense since they don't like each other. However, I personally didn't feel like I had a dog in this fight. Their beef is theirs, not mine, and I don't see why I should be limited in my relationships with either of them. I told Alex I wanted to go, and she was apprehensive. She said that if Tina didn't want her to go, she didn't think I should go. I said I didn't think
That's
it was fair for her to say that. Go on, Toby. Go on, you were going to say something.
Oh, I don't. No, I didn't know my thing was back on. I keeps going completely silent
Right, okay. Right, so
on my end, and then I start hearing like metal tinging sounds, and then you come back in. So the only part of the story I've heard so far is Tina doesn't like this other lady.
Right, okay. Now, Alex doesn't like her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Alex, now how long has Alex known the person? Like, have they been friends like for decades?
The
Since first year of high.
The person writing the story has been in a relationship with Alex for a year. Tina and Alex have been friends for a very long time. Tina and the person writing the thingy have been friends for a very long time. Tina and Alex, I think, have just met and they don't like it. Alex doesn't like Tina. Right, so I'll continue. This is a huge event for Tina, and she really wants to,
Yeah.
and I really want to go, and she really wants me there. Look at how you said that twice. I also
Really,
she really wants him there.
really. Him?
Yeah, I think it's there's a huge event for Tina. She but I also said that they are friends of Alex I don't get along with, and I don't stop her from seeing them. Alex eventually relented and said that she didn't care if I went or not. Months go by and the wedding happens, and Tina's wedding comes up. At this point, it's too late for me just to quit last minute, and Alex tells me again she doesn't want me to go. This is like a week out of the wedding. I told her I couldn't just flake last minute like that. I went to the wedding, had a good time. Now Alex is telling me I'm a huge dick and that I care about Tina's feelings more than her. She's pissed at me when she gives me the go ahead to attend the wedding or not. Without her.
Okay, so this is a geezer and his missus, yeah?
Yeah. Sounds
Yeah, that changed. That for some reason I thought it was like a lesbian couple. I don't know why that came up first because that changes the entire story.
Yeah,
Yes,
so
so
did
why did you think it was a lesbian couple?
I have no idea. Like honestly, like it just kind of. I heard you talk about, it, so I just assumed gay. Like
Isn't
I
that weird
literally,
though that we assume that that's the reason why she's not being allowed? Isn't that weird? I find that that's quite interesting because you jumped to the same conclusion as me. As soon as you
yeah.
heard, I don't want this other person to come, it was like the first thing that clipped into my head is this person's homophobic and they don't like the idea of them being a couple.
And I actually
That's
mentioned that at the
strange.
beginning of like when it
Yeah,
started,
yeah.
and I
Because
thought of it that way. And I didn't think of
when
it
you
like as because it doesn't give the inclination of why they don't like each other or anything like that. Because my initial thought was like, oh, they just don't get along, like as friends. But
yeah,
it's an entirely different scenario if it's your girlfriend who doesn't like a girl you've known for fucking years, because then it's a jealousy issue, like an entirely
yeah, but
different issue.
I would assume it's not a jealousy issue thing because the girl who's getting married, she's getting married to another fella, isn't she?
I'm looking through the comments quickly. The writer and Tina have never had a physical relationship or any sort of relationship.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be like a legitimate like jealousy or stuff like that. It's the threat of it. That's the thing. Like when you have this friend that you've known for longer than ever, you're gonna have that mindset of like, did they really ever not? I mean, like she knows more about him than I. They're always gonna put yourself in that position. Like you're always gonna feel awkward around a person of the opposite sex who is that close to your significant other, regardless of what gender or whatever you are. It's just gonna always be that weird thing that they have that personal connection that you don't have yet.
I don't know. I personally, it wouldn't bother me.
Well, yeah, now
And then
because we're
it,
old in our 40s, have kids, and it doesn't fucking matter. Like this is like early on, like they're young, like in their virile, like thinking with their dick state mentality, age wage. Like if you think of it that way,
if I was young, I would have high fived and said, "You want to take turns?" Then
see?
if when I was young, that's what I would have done. It wouldn't have bothered me then either. See,
But yeah,
I
but
think
that's the girls
I
that are
think
doing
this
that.
girl just doesn't like this bird, and I can understand if they don't like it. If she don't like it, she don't like her. But is it? But now thinking about that, is it a fella getting married, or no? It isn't because it's Tina, isn't it? Tina
Yeah.
getting married. Okay, so
So
I don't understand.
um, most of the comments are calling him the asshole.
I don't think him and the girl have been together long enough for it to be. If they were in like, if like say it was his wife who didn't like the other girl, then yeah, then he'd be an asshole. But they haven't been together long enough for that to be a thing.
So he's an arsehole to want to go to his mate's wedding.
Yeah.
And
So one of the
And
comments here is, it feels like there is probably something deeper going on here, which it does seem like that. But for the sake of
yeah,
simplifying it, you're the asshole. Choosing a friend over a partner is always going to cause trouble. They shouldn't be remotely on the same level, and I'm guessing everyone will catch that you blame Alex's energy on why they don't get along. I consider this a significant betrayal, and Tina isn't innocent either.
Uh-huh.
Sure, we all want to have the perfect wedding day, but it shouldn't have come at the expense of one of our best friends. If I'm Alex, I'm calling it a day on this one. I'm defending
So
this one. So
that person is calling him the arsehole because he should take the relationship that's been together for a year and a half over a friendship that started when they're in junior high school. No. Because the thing is, it's
Well,
a friendship.
I think what this
Totally
guy's saying
for
though is it's a matter of like mutual respect thing. Like, if he was serious about her, then that's why he would stay with her and not go to the wedding thing. So by doing that, he's showing like, okay, maybe they're not compatible in the first place. You know, at that point, it just kind of shows like, oh, this isn't the seriousness thing. Like I kind of said, it's a matter of who the person is in the relationship. Like, if it was his wife, he'd definitely be the fucking asshole for doing it because that's your spouse. That's what you know. You don't do that shit. You're on the same team. You know what I mean? But if it's just a girlfriend and it's like that, it's like okay, that just kind of shows that like that. But she's gonna accept it. I mean, you haven't been together long enough to make that decision or to dictate that or even try that. You know,
I
so
think
he's not the asshole yet, but he could have
I
been
think
had they
yeah.
been more
I
serious.
think that in that situation, your mate's getting married though.
yeah,
I think it's in that she don't for some whatever reason it is she don't like that other person. It obviously ain't because she wants to shaft him because it's her wedding.
But
You
that's what I'm
wouldn't
saying. Like in
invite
this
somebody that
situation, it's
you
not Tom.
fancy
Like,
to your wedding.
yeah, but that's what I say. Like he's not in this case, but he could have been had it been a different situation. Like had they been, more serious. But they're not yet, so that's not
It's
his
a
problem.
year and a half relationship. It's a relatively long relationship. You kind of thought they would have got over that point.
in the long scale
Yeah,
of things, it's a relatively short. That is still a new relationship.
yeah,
Well, yeah, I mean, in comparison to the friendship, 100%, but you surely got over the jealousy point of it. And surely you would have discussed why they dislike each other. You would, what I'm trying to say is that year and a half, that relationship would have matured to a point where they can discuss why. And surely there must be some
yeah,
understanding from this other person's the reasoning why they don't like it, whether they respect
yeah.
it or not, it doesn't matter. But if you're friends with somebody, you have to be quite mature in that situation and say, well, yeah, I understand you like her. She's your mate. I can't stand her. But yeah, go to it. Go for it. Go for it. Go for it.
Oh, speaking of which, we actually had a thing like that. Well, not really. Um, the missus with one of her friends on Fortnite when she used to play with was a complete douchebag, and I hated him from the start. But I'm like, hey, I'm not gonna be ignorant to your friends, and
Yeah, yeah.
they
Just,
did all that shit. And then when his douchebaggery became too apparent to be, you know, whatever, they were gone. But like, it's you know, he was a
you
douchebag.
have
I'm
to
not gonna be like
be,
that. I was nice
yeah,
enough to not cause problems between their friendship. And,
Yeah.
yeah. You have
that
to be
ain't right.
mature to a certain degree and like respect the other person's opinion and just be like, well, yeah, I don't like them, but
Whatever.
Yeah, and like when we would play together too, and I would just mute them the whole time, so it'd be like, okay, so I'm not gonna cause. I can easily not cause problems.
yeah.
Everyone wins. Everybody wins.
What's the verdict, guys? I'm going to try and quickly get through the next one as well because it is that fast now.
I, I don't
I
think
think
he's an
the,
arsehole. I don't think he is.
no, not yet. He had. It does bring different questions that need to be addressed though. But so he's not an asshole yet.
Mm,
You can only go
yeah.
from the story, like you don't really know
Yeah.
everything.
This is going to be one example on whether or not he's the asshole. That by the end of whatever the whole story is,
It,
this is going to be
Mm,
one example of one event.
if there's updates, obviously we'll go back to the story. So verdict, not the asshole.
cool.
Video ends there.
Not yet.
Uh,
Not yet.
okay, right. No one's chatted. Reddit stories with the best cast. Boop 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 boop. Am I a hole for firing my brother after he proposed at my wedding?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, okay. Sorry. Let me just run that title through my head
you
again.
don't you don't fire him. You punch him, but you don't fire him.
Firing. What are they referencing the firing? So firing at the wedding. So was he like the best man or something? So they fired him from being the best man.
No.
like from a
Okay.
job.
Everything it's in the story.
Yeah. I'll wait then.
Right.
No, you gotta remember we're judgmental pricks, so we actually create the whole
Yeah.
story ourselves before just by hearing the title.
Right. So a bit of background. I own my own plumbing company, and hired.
Okay, so he's full of shit as it is.
I hired my brother 3 years ago. He was jobless after the pandemic, and I offered him to come work for me. He was 22 at the time, and is now looking to become a master plumber and start his own business. At my wedding, in which he was the best man, he decided that during his speech he would give us all a surprise and decide to propose to his longtime girlfriend. Me and my wife were appalled. We both felt like he stole the shine from our day. Everyone else in our family was so excited and kept taking pictures with her, looking at the ring, etc. I decided to fire him the very next day. He still doesn't understand why, and he claims I'm being selfish and irrational, and our parents agree. They're saying that business should be separate from our personal lives. But I just can't overlook what he did and how he ruined our day. Am I overthinking this? There is 3 edits. Would you like to have a little discussion before I do the edits, or should I do the edits first?
I got something to put into this. I think the brother's a little twat.
Yeah, he's
I
definitely
know,
wrong.
'cause, yeah, I
Don't
mean
do
to,
that
to
shit.
try and steal the thunder of someone else's wedding is a bit of a piss take. I mean, for example, if like, it was
Especially
after,
in his speech.
yeah, exactly. I
In
mean,
the middle of his
maybe
speech.
after the cake, after the speeches, I can understand. Maybe you can say, "Oh, would you mind if I say something now?" But like the
Yeah.
smack bang in the middle of it, nah, not bad.
And you tell the brother first, like, hey, can I do this at the end here?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
you know.
Yeah, ask the question. I mean, to fire him. I mean, I don't know what the legalities of that is. He has to have a decent reason to fire him, even if he is your brother. So I don't. I'm interested to see where that goes.
Right, so edit number 1. I should have mentioned this, but he will be getting severance. He's still my brother, and I wouldn't let him lose his home over this. But as a small business, I can't imagine seeing him every day at work. Not at least. Edit number 2. I reached out to him, and we plan speaking later today. Edit 3. I love all of the people who say you've been looking for a reason to fire him, or you're just jealous. He was my best man. I never felt upset about him opening his own business. In fact, he has my complete blessing. This job was only supposed to get him on his feet again. So I'm happy he liked the field and wants to go further in it. There is no malice before the incident. That's all the updates.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he's a bit of an arsehole for firing him for it.
Well, okay, so let's see how he does it though. How's he firing him for? Is he saying like, okay, you got this much time, go start your business and then get the fuck out of mine? After doing that, or is it like one of those like because now that talk about how you like severance and all that type of shit and how they're talking it over, like I can see how like it's not him just coming in like, okay, now you don't have a job anymore, go out and get away from me. It'd be different because it is one of those things like, okay, like you did this, you fucked up. I don't want this business matter to continue. You can end business relationships for that reason. That's perfectly understandable. It's just a matter of is he like saying like, okay, you get your side together and don't get the hell out, or or is he just because that seems reasonable.
Brother, in so like he's still getting
and a severance package from a fucking plumber, that's insane. Like you don't get severance packages from like companies here unless you're like it's like one of those big like law firms and shit like that. You don't unless it's in the contract. Like I don't see that type of business doing that. So if he's doing that, he's basically like saying like I'm gonna help you get on your feet, like get your shit going. I just don't want you in my pool anymore.
which is
But I mean,
he's still willing to help him.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think the brother was a dick what he did, but in the UK you couldn't fire someone for that.
Oh, we gotta figure out like what was the initial like contract because around here, you figure if he's an apprentice or that type of thing, then he's learning a trade from a tradesman. So he can easily say like I can end this apprenticeship easily for that matter. It's just a matter of like, how do I put it?
Okay.
Because like you said, he said it was supposed to be a temporary thing to begin with. Like this is just like a get on your feet while the pandemic happens, and go do your thing. So for him, it's kind of like saying like, okay, I helped him up. Now let's call an end to the temporary thing that we had planned to be temporary the
Yeah,
whole time.
if it was stated as a temporary
Yeah.
contract for a year, for example, then it comes to the end of that temporary contract, then yeah. But that's not
Yeah.
firing, that's just the contract coming to an end. If you state you're firing somebody, you have said to them that I
Yeah.
do not want you to come back to work
Yeah.
again. And the reasoning behind firing somebody you need is 3 strikes and you're out. So you need verbal, written, and then final. And then you can leave. So
Well, in the United States, it's not really like that unless you're a union, really. They can just pretty much fire you for cause, whatever they want. Or just your service is no longer. Oh, your services are just no longer needed here. But the way it looks like that, the contract idea, it seems like it was like one of those things where it's like, oh, it's my brother. It's one of those open contracts where it's like you can stay as long as you need. We're not going to put it in paper because we're family. I'm not going to do that. And then it got to the point where it was like, fuck, now this business has to be on paper and like let's just like end it here and go do your fucking thing.
But then that's not firing, is it? That's not really firing him. That's just saying, look, that situation is gone now. It's not. It's you were there helping and you were there temporary, and that's it. We've got nothing writing, so you can't fire him. But yeah,
But it's also like we maybe won't be more pedantic on the term than he is. You know?
maybe.
Right. So comments time. Not this is this case can't separate family and business because you only offered the job because he was family. I would tell him that he can have the job back after he pays for half of the reception, since he turned it into a combination wedding reception and engagement party. I mean, that's
it's kind of like childish in a sense, but it's a childish response. I mean, if you handle shit in house, that's kind of how it gets handled.
Well,
I'd be super embarrassed.
Time to announce a pregnancy at his wedding, not the arsehole. That was my favourite comment that I've seen so far. I had to get what? Time to announce a pregnancy at his wedding.
Yeah. And get some payback for it. Why would you do that? That'd be so embarrassing. I would not do that in front of like a room full of, I suppose it's his family members, but it's their day to shine. You know what I mean? It's not even for the blokes. People don't get married. Blokes don't care about a wedding. They couldn't give two shades of shit about it. Yeah, of course it is. All the blokes want to do is get their leg over and have a few pints. That's really all the blokes want to do.
Not everyone. Some actually want the wedding.
Do they?
Yes, they do. But then their boyfriends say it's okay too.
Yeah, it's true.
I've never known a bloke that wants to get to a wedding. Never known anything to want this. But yeah, I is he an arsehole? I think he's an arsehole if it's a proper firing. I think he took it a bit extreme. I can understand why he'd be annoyed. Yeah, okay. Yeah, he's a bit of an arsehole.
Get your verdict. Get him in. We may as well.
I thought he should have fist fighted him at the end of the fucking reception. Just punch him in the dick a couple times and call it a day. Fine, but you're not giving him grandkids.
If it caused uneasiness or like awkwardness afterwards, I can understand why. And if it is like what Zombie says, it's more of a temporary thing. It's not like a full contracted employment. Then he's not an arsehole.
Basically coming to an end of a business deal, like fuck off. You did something stupid. I can't stand your face anymore. Go away. I can do that entire life. That's America.
Yeah, I can get that. I get that.
Okay then. The verdict was not the arsehole. And the video.
Cool. Boom.
There you go.
Right.
Are we ending the stream here? Obviously, we need to go.
You can do. I'm just gonna quickly find you a USB mic setup. The- Just be microphone setup. Let's see if we can find one.
I'll
It's
raise one
cut.
quick and we can do that off camera. Off
Yeah, yeah, cool, cool.
Right, so the
Awesome.
Imperial, Posse, Zeus are Wonky Gamers, or Sons of the Earth.
Sons of the Earth. Bloody hell, I haven't seen him in ages.
You know, quite a while. What's the sort of? How do I say it like that?
So we'll read it. He's played
Yeah.
3.
See you later, people. Thank you very much for sticking around. Listen to us, bunch of knobs.